There have been many remarkable people throughout history who have suffered greatly, yet their tales have inspired generations. We explore the tragic yet extraordinary life of Joseph Merrick, commonly referred to as the Elephant Man today. His life was filled with challenges, misunderstandings, and courage. He was a guy of talent, kindness, and dignity, despite his physical hardships. Who was Joseph Merrick, after all? What was the real cause of his illness? What impact did he have on history? Let's get started. Joseph Carey Merrick was born on August 5, 1862, in Leicester, England. He was the eldest of 3 children born to Mary Jane and Joseph Rockley Merrick. According to his mother, he was a healthy baby at birth, but around the age of 5, unusual growths and deformities began to develop on his body. His skin thickened and grew into lumpy masses. His right arm became significantly larger than his left, and his head expanded to an extraordinary size. His lips became enlarged, and a fleshy mass protruded from his forehead, giving him a distinct and tragic appearance. His condition was not explained by doctors in the 19th century. According to a widespread myth at the time, his mother thought his abnormalities resulted from an accident during her pregnancy in which she became frightened of an elephant. Although neither condition was recognized during Merrick's lifetime, current research indicates that he most likely had a combination of Proteus syndrome and neurofibromatosis type 1. Merrick faced many challenges as a child. He loved his mother dearly, but unfortunately died when he was only 11 years old. His father soon remarried, and his stepmother treated him cruelly. His father didn't treat him any better and made him leave home and look for work elsewhere because he was unable to get employment because of his handicaps. Joseph attempted to find various jobs but faced constant ridicule from everyone around him. Eventually, he entered Leicester Union Workhouse at the age of 17. Life there was brutal, overcrowded conditions, hard labor, and little compassion. Desperate for an escape, he sought a different path, one that would place him in the public eye. In 1884, Merrick contacted a showman named Sam Torr and agreed to be exhibited in a freak show as the Elephant Man. His story captured public curiosity, and he was displayed in shop fronts and fairs. Though the experience was humiliating, it provided him with a stable income. During the 19th century, society offered few opportunities for people with visible disabilities, particularly those with severe deformities. With little to no social welfare systems in place, many individuals had no means of financial support outside of their families, if they had one. The Industrial Revolution created jobs, but these were largely inaccessible to those with physical impairments, as factory work demanded able-bodied labor. Public attitudes toward disability were often rooted in superstition, fear, or curiosity, leaving few avenues for disabled individuals to earn a living. Freak shows became one of the only sources of employment where people with physical differences could support themselves. These exhibitions, though exploitative, provided a means of financial independence that was otherwise unavailable. Showmen such as P.T. Barnum marketed these individuals as spectacles, capitalizing on the Victorian fascination with the unusual and grotesque. While some performers gained a degree of agency over their careers, commanding high earnings and even negotiating contracts, many were at the mercy of unscrupulous managers who profited from their suffering. For figures like Joseph Merrick, the alternative was destitution. The workhouse system, designed as a last resort for the poor, was notorious for its brutal conditions. Inmates were often subjected to harsh labor, inadequate medical care, and social isolation. For someone with a condition as severe as Merrick's, the workhouse would have meant extreme hardship and an early death. While freak shows gave some performers a degree of agency, the industry was built on the exploitation of difference. As medical advancements and changing attitudes toward disability emerged in the early 20th century, freak shows declined, and social reform efforts provided alternative means of support. However, for people like Merrick in the Victorian era, the freak show was often the only available path to survival. Merrick's journey took him to London, where he was displayed near the London hospital. It was here that he caught the attention of a surgeon named Dr. Frederick Trevis, a man who would change his life forever. Dr. Trevis examined Merrick and presented him to the Pathological Society of London. He discovered that despite his severe deformities, Merrick was an intelligent and sensitive man with a deep appreciation for literature and art. Merrick's time in freak shows came to an abrupt end when he was abandoned in Belgium by a cruel showman. Stranded and alone, he struggled to make his way back to England. Upon his return, he was taken in permanently by Dr. Trevis at the London Hospital in 1886. Here, for the first time, finally he experienced kindness and stability. Despite the cruelty and hardship Joseph Merrick endured throughout his life, he found comfort in the friendships he formed, particularly after being taken in by Dr. Frederick Trevis at the London Hospital in 1886. Away from the humiliation of public exhibition, Merrick was able to experience companionship, intellectual stimulation, and even a sense of dignity that had so long been denied to him. One of the most notable friendships Merrick formed was with Alexandra, Princess of Wales, later Queen Alexandra. Deeply moved by his condition and gentle nature, she visited him regularly, bringing gifts and offering genuine kindness. Her visits were not mere charity. They symbolized a recognition of Merrick's humanity at a time when society largely viewed individuals with deformities as objects of curiosity or pity. Her patronage also encouraged other members of the aristocracy and London's elite to visit him, including actors, authors, and doctors. These friendships provided Merrick with a sense of belonging. He particularly enjoyed literature, poetry, and constructing intricate models of buildings such as St. Philip's Cathedral. Through his interactions with visitors, he was able to engage in meaningful conversations, showing his intelligence and gentle spirit. He once expressed his desire to live in a home for the blind, where people would judge him for his character rather than his appearance. In many respects, Alexandra's and other high society people's generosity stood in sharp contrast to the brutality he had witnessed earlier. Their visits brought him some happiness in his latter years, but they did not take away his suffering. Despite his short life, he passed away in 1890 at the age of 27. Merrick's ability to form and maintain friendships with individuals from a wide range of backgrounds was evidence of his courage and compassion. However, his condition worsened over time. The weight of his skull made it impossible for him to sleep lying down. He had to rest sitting up to avoid suffocation. On April 11, 1890, at the age of 27, Joseph Merrick was found dead in his hospital bed. It is believed he attempted to sleep lying down, which caused his head to fall back and dislocate his neck, leading to suffocation. Joseph Merrick's life was tragic, but his story remains an enduring testament to the strength of the human spirit. He was not merely the Elephant Man, he was an intelligent, kind, and artistic soul who sought dignity in a world that often shunned him. His skeletal remains are preserved at the Royal London Hospital, and his story continues to be told through books, plays, and films. His legacy teaches us compassion, reminding us that behind every face, no matter how different, there is a human being longing for acceptance and understanding. What do you think of Joseph Merrick's story? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this video interesting, please like, share, and subscribe for more historical deep dives into history. Thank you for watching, and remember, kindness costs nothing, yet means everything.